The Philippines is abandoning China's Belt and Road Initiative, canceling billions in promised projects despite desperate infrastructure needs. Why? The answer is rooted in a high-stakes contest between the United States, China, and Japan, with the Philippines positioned at the center. Despite an international tribunal in The Hague invalidating China's sweeping maritime claims near the Philippines, Beijing continues to expand its presence. Can this nation hold its ground in a power struggle on the high seas? And at what cost? $5 trillion in global trade flows past the Philippines through the South China Sea every year. That's why three superpowers are fighting over 7,600 scattered islands. Look at a map. Japan, Taiwan, and the Philippines form a 2,000-mile barrier between China and the open ocean. Military strategists call it the first island chain. China calls it a cage. The Luzon Strait is 160 miles wide. Every Chinese submarine headed to the Pacific has to squeeze through this gap. Every American carrier rushing to defend Taiwan does too. Whoever controls this choke point controls Asia's sea lanes. If Manila aligns with the United States and other regional partners, it can effectively limit Chinese naval movement, making it harder for Beijing to supply its forces or respond quickly in a crisis, especially one involving Taiwan. But beneath these same waters lie trillions of cubic feet of natural gas. Above them, millions of Filipino fishermen are trying to make a living, and China wants both. Under the United Nations, every country claims a 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone from their shores. But China has not bought into these boundaries. To cement their presence, China constructed and militarized artificial islands on disputed reefs, with satellite images showing dozens of anti-ship and anti-air missile sites on 7 reclaimed features. These outposts bristle with radar, airstrips, and missile batteries, sending a clear message about Beijing's willingness to enforce its claims by force if necessary. For the Philippines, this militarization is a direct threat to its sovereignty. The Scarborough Shoal, just 120 miles from Luzon, was once a vital fishing ground for Filipinos, but the shoal fell under Chinese control after a 2012 standoff. The Philippines is now fighting to retain its outlying islands and shoals from Chinese control. Recently, they've been defending the Second Thomas Shoal, a submerged reef located in the Spratly Islands. The Philippine outpost on Second Thomas Shoal is the BRP Sierra Madre, a Philippine naval transport ship intentionally grounded on the reef and maintained by a contingent of Marines. The Marines are regularly resupplied while on the shoal, but those resupply boats are consistently harassed by Chinese naval vessels in the area. America watches from the sidelines. U.S. warships observe these confrontations, but won't fire first. Diplomatic protests, stern warnings, freedom of navigation patrols, everything except actually stopping China. But every Chinese water cannon, every blocked supply run, every harassed Filipino fisherman pushes Manila deeper into Washington's arms. China's strategy is backfiring spectacularly. Beijing wanted to peel the Philippines away from America through economic incentives and military pressure. Instead, it's creating the very encirclement that it fears. The Philippines has gone from a neutral trading partner to America's unsinkable aircraft carrier, all because China couldn't resist bullying fishermen. In 2023, America got permission to put missiles 1,500 miles from Beijing. The Philippines just handed the U.S. 9 military bases, more than any other country in the region. And this isn't your grandfather's Cold War bases. No permanent American soldiers, no colonial flags flying. But the missiles? Those are very real. The 2014 Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement deal was brilliant. America gets the bases, the Philippines keep their sovereignty. The agreement initially covered 5 sites, including Basa Air Base in Pampanga and Antonio Batista Air Base in Palawan, both chosen for their strategic locations near potential flashpoints. Unlike the Cold War era installations, EDCA bases do not host permanent American garrisons. Instead, they enable joint training, pre-positioning of equipment, and rapid deployment in the event of a crisis. America is writing checks too, $32 million to upgrade Basa Air Base, funded under the Pacific Deterrence Initiative. New runways, new storage, new command centers. The U.S. has deployed advanced systems to these sites, including the Typhoon mid-range missile platform, which can strike targets up to 1,500 miles away. This capability extends the reach of both U.S. and Philippine forces, making the archipelago a critical node in the broader Indo-Pacific security architecture. Every year, 17,000 troops practice war games, HIMAR rockets, Patriot missiles, amphibious invasions, and China can watch it all on satellite. The U.S. has also approved a $5.5 billion package of weapons sales to the Philippines, including F-16 fighter jets, AMRAAM air-to-air missiles, and precision-guided munitions. Lockheed Martin got even richer. At the same time, the U.S. is supporting the development of maritime domain awareness through projects like the upgrade of the Naval Detachment Oyster Bay, which will support unmanned surface vehicles and bolster the Philippines' ability to monitor contested waters. China's response? Economic warfare. $18 billion. That's how much more the Philippines buys from China than it sells back. A 3-to-1 trade imbalance should give Beijing incredible leverage. So, why is Manila rejecting billions of dollars in Chinese infrastructure loans? The Philippines watched Sri Lanka hand over Hambantota Port to China on a 99-year lease after defaulting on its Belt and Road loans. That was lesson enough. The Philippines imports a quarter of everything from China. Factory components, electronics, machinery, the stuff that keeps the economy running. When Beijing controls your supply chain and your trade deficit is tilted 3-to-1 in their favor, saying no to their infrastructure money should be economic suicide. Here's the problem. China wants the Philippines ports and wants to ram Filipino fishermen. You can't offer Belt and Road deals while your Coast Guard is playing bumper boats with Filipino supply ships. And every dust-up in the South China Sea makes Chinese loans more politically toxic. President Marcos Jr. has canceled billions in railway projects rather than risk debt traps. The Mindanao Railway, all shelved despite being initially approved under the Duterte administration. The contradiction is killing China's strategy. The Philippines desperately need this infrastructure. Their traffic jams are legendary, their bridges are crumbling, and their ports are overcrowded. Chinese money could fix a lot of it. Instead, Beijing's aggression in the South China Sea has made taking Chinese loans a sovereignty risk that no Filipino leader can afford. China's economic power should own the Philippines. Instead, its military bullying has pushed it into the arms of the Americans. While China offers debt and America offers protection, Japan offers independence. Guess which one a former colony loves most? Tokyo's $52 billion infrastructure program is about proving that the Philippines can modernize without selling its sovereignty. Every completed Japanese project is a middle finger to Beijing's development model. In 2023, Japan became the Philippines' top source of development aid, $2.8 billion compared to China's $440 million. And the gap will continue to widen. That same year, Japan signed its first ever military aid agreement with the Philippines. The Official Security Assistance Framework lets Tokyo directly supply weapons and equipment to Manila's military. First delivery, Mitsubishi's P-14ME radars. These aren't fishing boat detectors, they're military-grade systems that can track every Chinese vessel within 200 miles of Philippine shores. Japan is essentially giving the Philippines the eyes to see China coming. But the genius is in the packaging. When America deploys Typhoon missiles that scream military confrontation, Japan delivers disaster monitoring radars that happen to track warships perfectly. Same strategic effect, zero diplomatic blowback. While China's Belt and Road Initiative crumbles under corruption scandals and debt crises, Japan's quiet infrastructure revolution is transforming the Philippines into a modern, self-reliant ally. The result? Manila now sees Japan as its most reliable partner. In a region where everyone wants to own the Philippines, Japan figured out how to win by helping the Philippines own itself. Three superpowers offered three very different deals. China wanted to break out of the first island chain, and instead it created the very encirclement that it feared. Manila took American weapons, rejected Chinese loans, and embraced Japanese infrastructure. It's playing the great powers against each other while building the strength to stand alone, proving yet again that geography is destiny. Sitting at the crossroads of $5 trillion in annual trade and controlling the choke point between China and the Pacific Ocean means that the Philippines hold the key to Asia's maritime future. Thanks for watching.